I'm Dr. Femi additional. I'm a relationship expert and a family consultant. I'm married to Moradike additional, and we have 5 children. So we run an NGO, a foundation, Green Light Family Foundation. And Green Light Family Foundation is very passionate about good families and good homes. So that is what we do. When we got married, we were in 2-bedroom apartment in Festa. There was nobody living with us. It was after a while that people started living with us. Maybe 2 people or so started living with us. So, at the beginning, everybody was we were doing things the way we liked, the way we saw. My wife would cook. I would go and carry it from the kitchen. She will place it on the stool. We didn't start with dining table. Now we have a beautiful dining table, but then stools in our homes. Place it on the stool. I will go to the kitchen to go and wash my hair. But when adjustment came and we began to grow, I said, we can't live an organized life like this. That time we call it love. Now, I expected table to be set as a man. But it took time for her to adjust to that situation. It was one quarrel. Another quarrel was the timing of the food. Let food be ready 7:30. Because of the nature of her business, she's just coming in, she's preparing this sometimes 9:30, even 9:30. And the 2 of us are educated people. We started reading, we started learning that eating late can cause cholesterol, protruded belly, all kinds of. So I started fighting that situation. It's one of the big quarrels that we have ever had. So I would say those are the biggest quarrels, and today we have adjusted to that situation. She knows she is well planned now, so food can be ready, and sometimes I help. I get those things. Maybe my mentality has changed as regards that too. That always it must be the woman. No African mentality. The woman must go to the market. Every woman must visit the market. You must get ingredients, then come and prepare it. That is your role. But now, I stop. When I'm passing through a marketplace, I stop. I buy things we need. So I take it home, and she sees it. She's happy, and that assists in even getting the food prepared on time.
In life.
Divorce. To be honest with you, I've never thought of divorce. I've never thought of divorce. What I did during my first and second year was I began to question myself. You know, I told you those 2 years were turbulent. In the course of my study in life, I discovered that what we lacked then was adjustment. And that is why these days, as a family expert and as a family consultant and a relationship expert, I teach marital adjustment. So, I sat down, I questioned myself. Why is this thing not working? Because I believe that it was not working. Quarrel all the time. Those 2 years, year 1 and year 2, But in the course of my experience and study in life, I discovered that marriages go through stages in life. Stage 1 is called bliss. Stage 1 of your marriage is called bliss. Stage 2 of your marriage is called reality. Stage 3 is called turbulence. And stage 4 is called adjustment. And that is how it will go until you get to stage 7 of marriage, that is called unity and harmony. People want to have stage 7 of marriage right from their stage 1. It's not possible. The two of you that are married are human beings, and you have your psychology. So bliss will set in. I love you, I love you. A year, you begin to see realities, because character is different from personality. When you met your spouse, you actually met his or her personality outside. That is why marriages of celebrities fail too quickly. Why? Many people are married to personality. That man you met at the shopping mall, that is his personality. So what people see outside is called personality. But what you live with inside your room is the character of the person. So if you don't understand the two, there is going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. So I've never thought of divorce like you asked, but the first year 1 and year 2 were challenging, but with adjustment, God was able to help. On polygamy, I believe in one man, one wife. That is monogamy. That's what I believe. That's what I do. That's what I'm practicing. And that's what I advocate. So that is my stand. We need to be honest. See, you have two sides of the coin to the issue of domestic violence. And listening to so many speakers in recent times, and I discovered that many people have been very biased about the issue of domestic violence. If you want to solve the issue, the problem of domestic violence, you need to approach it from several perspectives. You need to give it a multi-dimensional approach. From the angle of the woman, you need to tackle some things. From the angle of the man, you need to tackle some things. And you need to find a balance. So, what I want to say to women suffering from domestic violence, number one, study your husband properly. I realize as a counselor that it doesn't matter how you study some men. What they will do, they will do. Some men are like beasts, and they are difficult to satisfy. But let the woman, first of all, study her own husband and make sure that you address those things that get your husband angry. Then, on this side of the man, but your question says, what do I have to say to the women that are suffering from domestic violence? So I want to limit myself to the scope of the question. Number two, that what they can do. My findings reveal that most of the people suffering from domestic violence, most of the women suffering from domestic violence are between 18 and 40. Then another thing is that most of them are not financially empowered. So let every woman try and be empowered financially. I had a program on domestic violence just of recent, and I was using some women as illustration. In my illustration, I use them as examples in my presentations. These are trailblazers in the banking industries in Nigeria. Their husbands cannot be slapping them. Their husbands cannot be punching them anyhow. Why? Their assets to their husbands, they are not even liabilities. So one of the things about domestic violence that many people have not understood, that some of the women suffering, a greater percentage of the women suffering from domestic violence are not financially empowered. Not all. You may have exceptional cases. Another thing is, let them try and let their husbands see a professional counselor and let them do evaluation on them. Some men have psychiatric issues. You see, it is not until you are nickeled and you are referred to as a madman that you have psychiatric issues. Some men have psychological disorder. Some are narcissistic in nature. You see, there are a lot of psychological disorders that we cannot be mentioning. We cannot be talking about them right away. So, let that type of woman make sure that they see a professional, please, a professional counselor who can carry out evaluation on their mental status. Not just a prayer room. It's good going to pastors, and I'm not condemning pastors. They have their roles. They are not the ones, they are not the only people involved in these kind of situations. So that kind of woman should be able to try to persuade the husband to go and see a mental health professional, a professional counselor, a practicing psychologist, counseling psychologist. You know, there are different branches of that profession. They can even see a psychiatrist as well for examination. Those are the steps to take. I listened to a great speaker some time ago, and he said, "What I am to my father is not what I am to my wife. And that is not what I am to my children." It has to do about definition of roles. Definition of what? Of roles. Your roles as the husband must be clearly understood. Your roles as a father must be clearly understood. Your role as a pastor to the church members must be clearly understood. Oftentimes, these roles, when they are well defined, will not conflict. Sometimes there may be an overlap, and you must know how to handle it. For example, when the children are on holidays, I stay more at home. We pray, talk to them about life generally. I and my wife. This is when they come from the boarding, from their boarding schools. That's a time. Then, there are times that even when they are in the boarding school, now this is me and my wife, I just stay at home. We talk. The children are not involved. When it is time to come to prepare messages, I tell my wife, please, excuse me, I'll be in my personal room. I call it my study room. That's where I do everything. That room belongs to me alone. So when people come to trouble me there, I want them. To be frank, I want them. Sometimes I tell people to knock before they enter the place. But because he is within the house, there is that tendency. I'm going to see my daddy. Well, they enter. Even your wife sometimes doesn't knock before entering that place. That is when you are performing your role as a pastor, you are preparing messages. You are still at home. Say, please, learn to knock before you enter this place. And sometimes I lock it from behind. But the youngest of them all will not listen to anything. They come and be knocking at the place. So, you must understand your roles to everybody in life. That's how to manage it.